Hello friends, it is Stasia and welcome back to my channel. So today you're gonna have to buckle up a little bit. This was severely overdue and now we're here. So this is going to be my wrap up from July through September. I did originally film a video for July, but then I only had 5 books that I read that month. So then when it came to August, I was like, all right, I'll probably read more. So I ended up deleting that video, and then I was going to film July and August together. And then I only ended up reading 4 books in August. So I was like, okay, yeah, totally doable. Put it off forever, haven't done it, and now it is now September has passed as well. Now you're like, okay, that's fine, it shouldn't be too many books since you did 5 books and then 4 books, and then in September I read 20 books. So we will be wrapping up nearly 30 books, and also going over all of the books that I hauled within the past few months, and it's a lot, but it's fine. The haul is just kind of go pretty quick. I'm just kind of show you the book pretty much, and then for my wrap-ups I'm going to separate them by month. So then I'll do July, my stats, and then the books I read that month, August, my stats and the books I read that month. But when it comes to the books, I don't think I'm gonna give you guys too many thoughts. I am going to pretty much give you a maybe like 3-word synopsis, just some quick tropes there, and my rating, I think, is what I'm shooting for, because I really don't want this video to be 3 hours long, and I'm pretty sure you don't either. So I'm just gonna give you my rating after I give you guys like some quick tropes. But as always, my Goodreads and my Storygraph are both linked down below, and I am caught up on reviews. So every single book that I've read these months do have a full review. So if you are interested in more thoughts on those, that is always down below. Otherwise, we're gonna run through these pretty quick because I guess we have a lot to talk about. I'm gonna show you guys all of the books that I hauled, which is also pretty extensive, but my birthday was in July, so I got gifted a lot more books than I expected. So we're gonna jump right on into it. Some of the books I've actually already read, so that's also fun. We're gonna start with all of the books that I did not buy myself. I got these gifted one way or another. Maybe publishers, maybe giveaways, maybe friends, maybe anything else. I just did not spend my money to buy these books. Yeah, also some of these are on my TBR, so you may be seeing them soon. Anyways, let's just jump into it. Now I'm just rambling. Alright, so the first one I have is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. Sapphic X's Christmas. So this is definitely going to be a Christmas vlog. Very, very excited for that. Next, we have The 5 Stages of Courting Dallas Ramos by Melissa De La Cruz. I've read another one of her books, but this just came out in July, so there's that. Next we have For Better or Worse by Ava Hunter. I love Ava Hunter. I've read some of her other small town books, so very, very excited for that. Next we have The Lovers by Rebecca Fabian, not sure. This is also Sapphic, and it's 2 women working a wedding. Second chance at love. Oh, second chance, cute. Maybe I'll just do a Sapphic vlog at this point. Next we have Love You a Lot, K by Amanda Elliott. Another holiday romance. Then we have A Grim Reaper's Guide to Catching a Killer by Maxie Dara. Yes, I don't know much about most of these books. We have Sunshine and Spice by Aurora Pallet. I'm not sure if I'm saying any of these names correctly, so I apologize, but there's that. Then we have Quorum House by Bailey Saybolt, which this doesn't come out until next year, but I've actually already seen reviews on this, and they've been good reviews, so I'm actually very excited to get to this one. Then we have Tell Me Lies, I believe is the actual, yeah, so Tell Me Lies is the actual title by Carola Lovering. This is a Hulu series, so maybe I'll read this and watch the adaptation. I don't know. Next we have You Seen Her by Catherine McKenzie. No clue. It looks like a thriller. Somebody's disappearing. interesting, fun. Then we have another one that will be released next year. So I guess these publishers are just trying to get them out soon. This is called Nowhere by Allison Gunn. Cutesy. Then we have Capture or Kill by Vince Flynn. Another thriller. Then we have Out of Control by Kay Bromberg, which I have read, so I'll give you guys a rating on this soon. Then we have Vampires Never Die by Gloria Duke. I'm very iffy with my paranormal books, so we'll see when I get to that one. Next we have Ruby Dixon's Bull Moon Rising. It is a Minotaur. I have not yet gone into that realm of, like, is this considered a monster romance? But this book is gorgeous. Slightly scared about it, but also excited to see how we dive into that. Next we have No One Like You by Kate Shepard. College Sweethearts Restored. Oh, cute, love that. Another one we have, this is coming out in December, so hopefully I get to it by that date. Deadbeat by Adam Hamdy. Not entirely sure. Desperate single father as he searches for anonymous employer who hired him as a hitman. Huh. Interesting. Ooh, chapters look really short too, but hopefully there will be that by December. Then we got Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is her third book, and I still need to read her second book, but there's that. Then we have Stranger at the Wedding by A.E. Gauntlet. I actually also read this one, so I'll give you a review on this thriller coming up when we get to that. Next we have The Rule of Three by Sam Ripley, another thriller. Then we have I Need You to Read This by Jessa Maxwell. I actually have this on Kindle. I bought it on Kindle and then I got this. Anyways, I really want to read this one. I've seen really good reviews, so hopefully that is coming up soon. Then we got The Mysterious Case of Alberton Angels by Janice Hallett. Interesting. The formatting of this book is really interesting. There's a lot of, like, messages and stuff, so I would like to get to that. Till Heights Do Us Part by Sarah Desai, not sure, but I've read one of her other books and really enjoyed it, so hopefully we do this too. Then we have We Love the Nightlife by Rachel Collar Croft. This is a vampire book. Not sure if it's a romance or what it's considered, but I know it's vampires, so maybe I will take this and the other paranormal book and just do a vlog. Then we have Delicate Escape by Catherine Cowles. This is the second book in the Sparrow Falls series, and I also read this, so I will give you a review on that. Next we have The Chamber by Will Dean. That's a thriller. We have Making It by Laura Kay. This is a queer romance, I'm assuming. Then we have The Astrology House by Corinne Jade, which I think I've also seen this one around a lot. I just really need to get back on my thriller game. Next, we have Not Really Engaged by Kendall Hall. This is one I actually really want to read. The tropes in here is just like everything I want right now. All right, that's 2 stacks gone. Let's get into the next stack. This is the last stack of books that I have been gifted. Next, we have Dare You to Hate Me by B. Celeste. I know for a fact Rylan gave this to me for my birthday because she loved it. I've read a B. Celeste. It wasn't my favorite, but Rylan really loves this one, so I'm hoping to get to it. Then we have The Summer Club by Hannah McKinnon. I do not know what this book is about at all, but here's that. Seems summery. The Sign for Home by Blair Fell. Also, oh, young deaf blind man learns the girl he thought was lost forever might still be there. He embarks on a life-changing journey to find her and his freedom. Huh. Interesting. Nice. Then we have The Seemingly Impossible Love Life of Amanda Dean by Anna Rose. I also read this one, so we'll get a review on that. Then we have Then Things Went Dark by B. Fitzgerald. Obviously thriller. Next we have Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, also a thriller. This is on my TBR for the month of October, so there's that. Then we have The Day He Never Came Home by Andrew D. Young, another thriller. She thought she knew her husband, but she was wrong, apparently. Then we have The Drowning House by Cherry Priest. Not entirely sure. He has what he needs, now he'll take what he wants, apparently. Nice. All right, there's that. Then we have Love Lessons by Sydney Halson. This is a spicy enemies to lover about rival kindergarten teachers. Need to read it because I would love to be a kindergarten teacher. Next we have Over the Limit by Kay Bromberg. This is F1 romance. Then we have The Fiancé Dilemma by Elena Armas. I'm not sure. I really need to read one of her books. Everybody loves it. I've not done it yet. So hopefully at some point soon. Then we have Blindside by Candy Steiner. I also know for a fact that Rylan gave me this for my birthday because I enjoyed book 1. We read it for the book club together, so she got me the next book. Then we got Things Don't Break on Their Own by Sarah Easter Collins. 25 years ago, her sister disappeared and life shattered into a million pieces. And I don't know what's happening now. Then we have Ghost Camera by Darcy Coates. This also seems very interesting. This is also on my TBR, so I'm excited for that one. Then we have Haunted Ever After by Jen DeLuca. Fun fact, this is October book of the month for Mending Hearts Book Club, so I'm reading this in October either way. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's Grump Sunshine Small Town, but I don't know the haunting element, so we'll find that out together. And then last but not least of the books that I was gifted one way or another is Love at First Book by Jen McKinley, which I did read, so I'll give you my rating on that soon. Now, the very minimal books that I bought myself, because although I'm receiving a lot of books, I'm still on a book buying ban to buy under 25 books a year. So first book I bought myself was Her Shadow His Secret, which was the September book of the month for Mending, so I read it. Give you a rating on that soon. Then we got Pen Pal by JT Gessinger, not sure, but I've seen people cry to this book, and I'm very interested on why, so I want to read this soon. Another one that I bought because I'm hoping it'll make me cry is The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. Her last book made me sob my eyes out. The Last Letter, which is the other book that I read, so hopefully this one will do the same. Then these are the last two books that I got myself for my birthday, apart with the two I just said, and it is Royally Not Ready and Royally in Trouble, both by Megan Quinn. I don't know which one comes first, but bought these two because I read a Megan Quinn and I enjoyed it, so hopefully I'll get to that soon. Next we have the one book of the month box that I've gotten so far this year. First I got Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Already read this, review coming soon. Then I got Like Mother Like Daughter by Kimberly McCrate, and then I got Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, although I have a couple books still on her backlist, so we'll see when I get to this. And then the last book that I bought myself in the span of the past 3 months is Funny Story by Emily Henry, simply because I really like Emily Henry, so I bought it for myself. Alright, that is roughly 10 minutes of me talking about all of the books that I acquired in one way or another. So that's the haul. It'll be very fun to put all of these away and find space for them on my shelf that I do not have, but the show must go on. Now, let's jump into the books. So, let's go into July. In the month of July, I read 5 books, and that came out to 1,177 pages. All 5 were romance, and all 5 were ebooks. So, the first book I read was Return to Us by Corinne Michaels. This is a small town single dad second chance romance that I gave 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Stay a While by Laura Pavlov. This is a billionaire holiday novella, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Just a Game by Ruby Starr. This is a MMA romance with damaged characters, very fast-paced. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5. The next book that I read in the month of July is Walk Off Wedding by Marin Moore. This is a baseball romance, has a hint of like secret identities, chatting online, and it is a marriage of convenience. Gave this book 5 out of 5. And then the last book that I read in the month of July was The Waiter at Table 6 by Nikki Castle. This is a novella, reverse age gap, the woman is older, and it's just like starting over, one night stand sort of vibe, and I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. So look at how fast our months will go until we get into September. So that was July. In under a minute, let's get into August. In August, I read 4 books. That came out to 1,255 pages. 3 were romance and 1 was a thriller. 2 were ebooks and then 2 were audiobook mixed with physical books. So the first book I read was Yours to Be by Emily Silver. This is a small town fake dating. It's actually really, really fun. Recommend it. And I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Beating Heart by Laura Pavlov. This is small town single dad, neighbors turned lovers. Gave this 5 out of 5. And then the next book I read was Delicate Escape by Catherine Cowles. This is a small town hidden identity. Opposites attract, roommates to lovers force proximity, best friend's brother. And I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really love this series, so I'm very excited for the next one. This is the second book in the series, and I gave, so far, book 1 and 2 5 stars. And then the other book that I read in the month of August was The Stranger at the Wedding by A.E. Gauntlet. This is dual timeline book. I don't know how to really describe the tropes. Basically, Annie gets married, and while she's up at the altar, she sees a strange man that she's never seen before. After that's over, she realizes that he's starting to ask questions and nobody knows where he came from, who invited him, or any of that. So that's what this book is about, and I gave it 3 stars. So beautiful. That was the month of August. Now let's get into September, when the slump finally ended. In the month of September, I read 20 books. How? I don't know. Don't ask me. That came out to 6,888 pages. Of those 20 books, 14 were romance, 1 was a thriller, 3 graphic novels, and 1 non-fiction. My formats were, 8 of them were ebook, 6 were physical, and then 8 audio. If you add up those numbers, it doesn't add up because sometimes I did audio with a different format as well. So don't try to add it up. It's not going to add up. Now, let's get into the month of September. The first book I read was That Princess Mine by J.C. Lee. This is a Korean-American culinary instructor and a crown prince. He Falls First, very repetitive, will they, won't they? Very repetitive. Could have been shorter. And I gave this book 2.5 stars. Next, I read Out of Control by Kay Bromberg. Like I mentioned, this is an F1 driver, teammate slash rival's younger sister. So it's a secret lover, one night stand sort of vibe. Very forbidden and reform bad boy slash good girl. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Let the Games Begin. This is okay, it's not tagged as YA, but it felt and read very YA to me. So I'm saying this is a YA sports romance. They're at the Olympics, which is very, very fun. It's very insta-love, but there's lots of representation, very fun. Friend group and everything, and I gave this book 4 stars. The next book I read was Heart Trick by Kristen Granada. This is a hockey novella, fake dating with Grump Sunshine. Very, very fun. Gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Next I read Fall I Want by Lyra Parrish. This is a very long book. It was very long. I didn't expect it to be this long, but it is a small town billionaire. There's lots of like fall and underlying like magical tones, but I don't think there's actually, like, it's not a fantasy. There's not actual magic going on, but there is that like vibe, and it's very, very cheesy, but it's very, very fun. So there is that. Then I read The Perfect Guide Doesn't Exist by Sophie Gonzalez. This is YA, LGBT rep, magical realism with dual timelines. I believe here she accidentally makes this guy that she writes fan fiction about, like this actor, she accidentally makes him real. It's very interesting. And I gave this book 3 stars. The next book I read was The Reunion by Kayla Olson. This is a second chance romance, actors slash like movie scenes going on, and there's also lots of like different like blog posts and interviews and fun stuff like that. So I gave this book 4 stars. Next I read The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. This is LGBT as well. Lots of miscommunication, but it is also like second chance. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. Next I read I'll just pop out 3 right now. So first, well, actually at the end of the month, so not first. I ended up rereading Heartstopper Volume 1 because I've actually never read it physically once it got gifted to me a while back. So I read this for the first time physically, but this was a reread, so no rating or anything on that. But on top of Volume 1, I also read Volumes 4 and 5. So this series, obviously LGBT, and there is a lot of heavy topics, especially in Volumes 4 and 5, but a very fun friend group and obviously graphic novels. So that's 3 books that I read. I read 1, 4, and 5. I reread 1 because I really want to watch the show, and then I just keep never getting to it. So I reread it, and then I still didn't start the show. But it was a fun time either way. I love those. I just need to get the rest. I only own number 1. Next, I read Pucked Over by Helena Hunting. This is also sports. This is hockey. Casual hookups to get over ex. So like sort of one night stands, but not one night stands. What is it called? Oh, like friends with benefits. Kind of friends with benefits. There's very interesting like humor in this book. It took me a while to get used to, but this was also like the 3rd book in a series, so I'm not sure if you kind of like slowly get into it with book 1 and 2. I don't know, but gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read The Seemingly Impossible Love Life of Amanda Dean by Anne Rose. Really enjoyed it. This is LGBT as well. This follows multiple timelines because in the beginning of the book, it is her wedding day, and then we kind of just go through her entire love life because we don't know who she's marrying, so we're going through the book trying to figure out who she's marrying. So we see a lot of different timelines, we see a lot of different growth and stuff like that. I will say that there's a lot more to this book than the romance. There is a lot about like life and how she's figuring out how to grow into herself. So that was this. Then I read Her Shadow His Secret, which honestly I'm not super sure how to give you tropes on this. With it, it's kind of weird, I don't know, but I have an entire vlog, spoiler free, but it lets me give you guys more of a synopsis. But there is a lot of forced proximity, there is an age gap, and there is a lot of like mystery, like back and forth, will they, won't they, sort of vibe. But that was this. Like I said, I have a vlog, it will be linked down below. We are almost to the end, friends. Then I read Dirty Secret by Mira Lynn Kelly, not entirely sure. This is a pretty fast-paced sports romance. He plays hockey, and he accidentally has a one-night stand with his captain slash rival's little sister. So that is interesting. Then I read Make You Mine by Tia Louise. This is a small town second chance military romance with her brother's best friend. But there's a lot going on in the book, so there's that. Oh, and I gave Dirty Secret and Make You Mine both 4 stars. Sorry, I'm forgetting my ratings. Then I read Louder Than Hunger by John Shu. This is a YA book written in verse. So good. Gave it 5 stars. It's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. And it follows the hard topic of an eating disorder, but it's so good, so good. Then I read Love at First Book, and this is a Grump Sunshine Enemies to Lovers in an Irish small town, with our female main character trying to start over with her favorite author's son. Very fun. I give this book 4 or 5 stars. It was a fun time. Then I read All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. This is a nonfiction. I do not rate nonfiction, so there's no rating. So this just follows his life being queer and how it's different in his community. And yeah, so I read that. And then the last book that I read in the month of September is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. This also has a reading vlog. Is it out yet? I don't know, but it should be at some point. I have a reading vlog reading this where I rank it upon my other Riley Sager books. Yeah, and I gave this one 4 stars. So that is it, guys. We made it to the end. Hopefully this video isn't too long, and I know I really like rushed over all of these books, but like I said, I have my Goodreads and my Storygraph both linked down below if you would like more thoughts on what the book is about, maybe, or the ratings I gave it, anything like that. All of them do have full length reviews. I promise they're out there if you would like to know more about what I read. And then, like I said, 2 of these do also have vlogs. If you are interested with that, they will all be linked down below. But yeah, hopefully for the rest of the year I do my wrap-ups on time so that this doesn't happen again. But I also did haul a lot of books within the months because of my birthday and things like that. So that is my July through September wrap-up. October, I will do a wrap-up just that. Even if I only read 5 books, even if I read less than 5 books, I will have a wrap-up only for October. I promise I will. But that is it from me. Again, I'm so sorry. This was kind of a whirlwind, but maybe you also like it. Maybe you don't like me yapping so much about one book for 5 minutes. Either way, that's just the way this wrap-up went. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I will see you in the next one. Bye!